something to say.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Charlie. Do you remember me? It's been a while. And I've been saying that a lot lately, and for a lot of reasons. Hello, welcome to Project Shadow, episode number 609. Music, Identity, and the Search for Self. Yeah, this has been a really hard couple of years, but I am dedicated to getting the podcast back up and running. I know I've said that before, but I really mean it this time because I'm pre-recording episodes. So if I have a really bad, depressive day or period, episodes will still come out. Now, that doesn't mean that you guys can't still be a part of everything that we're doing here. All you have to do is hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or on the Anchor app. You can actually call in and leave questions, comments, and whatever over there. That'd be awesome if you do that, because then this would be much more of a community show. So, for those of you in the know, you know what's been going on with me of late. Over the last couple of years, I have been struggling really desperately hard with depression and with my dysphoria. And I'm not going to say that everything is all peachy keen and hunky-dory now, but things are a little bit better. My depression is, for the most part, under control, though I have good days and bad days. My dysphoria, on the other hand, is not quite as controlled as I would like it to be, but I am taking steps to mitigate it and make that okay. So hopefully things will be back on track and I will be able to move forward with my life, because I feel like everything has been on pause lately. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But that is my life. And it's a life I have to deal with and cope with. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has been so wonderful and kind to me over this several years of nightmarish darkness and self-loathing and hatred. I mean, it's been bad. You know it's been bad. And I'm not going to say that I necessarily definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I do feel that I am doing better, and I really miss talking to everyone. So I am really going to work hard to make this podcast happen. And if you want to guilt me into making that happen, I have deals with the wonderful people at Anchor now. And if you look into the show notes, you'll see a way that you can support the show for $1, $5, or $10. I know I'm not supposed to say that. It's supposed to be 99 cents, $4.99, or $9.99. But if you want to help support the show, this may not sound like a good thing to you guys, but if I do see that people are contributing there, that will create a guilt in me that will make me talk to the outside world. And that's actually something that I need. So if you have the extra to spare and you would be ever so kind, that would be wonderful. If not, I understand, because money is tight for everybody right now. I know that because I don't have the money for some of the treatments that I need. So, yay! But if you can give, that would be wonderful. And it will actually go a long way to making me really feel guilty about not getting stuff done and make me actually get stuff done. Because that's the kind of person I am. And that's actually the kind of guilt that I need in my life, unlike the kinds that I do have and tend to get. Anyway, so this show will be 5 days a week, at least for now. That's the plan, and I'm going to be doing different things on different days because there's a lot of things that I want to talk about, and today we're going to talk about music. And if things go well, I'm actually thinking of doing a Music Monday every Monday, but unfortunately, because of some of the contracts and stuff that I have now, I can't play the songs for you anymore, which is sad, and hopefully that will change in the future. But For now, we'll just talk about it. Yeah, because nothing's better than just talking about music. Because, yeah. Anywho, I have recently discovered a new band, artist, I don't know, one of the two. Her name is AViVA. And if you're not familiar with this band, I wasn't either. And this is one of the many reasons why I am an avid fan of Apple Music, because it has this playlist that it generates for you every Friday called New For You. This is not a sponsored video. I just really, really like the service. And the more you use the service, the more it tends to understand the kind of music that you like and recommend for you new songs that you might like. And I have discovered quite a few of my favorite artists this way, and quite a few of them with very few tracks. AViVA is one of them. AViVA currently, as of the recording of this, has 5 tracks out, and they are amazing. They're really, really good. But you kind of have to like the darker side of music. Like, if you're not into dark... See, I would say gothic. On their Twitter page, they call themselves emo pop. See, to me, emo is wallowing around in your suffering. If you're being defiant, you're gothic. But that's because back in the day when I was in high school, like 20-some years ago, that's the differentiating line between those things. So I tend to stick with that. And this music is beautifully, beautifully defiant. First of all, her voice. I don't know what I can say about her voice other than, oh my goodness, it's amazing. There's this kind of breathy alto soprano, mezzo alto, I don't know. I'm really bad at music theory. Help me, 12 tone, help me. Voice that I'm really into. And so if you were a fan of Melanie Martinez, or if you are a fan of like Bishop Briggs, early curly music, even up to the music she's doing now, stuff like that, you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. This kind of breathy, angsty, angry lady voice that makes me so happy. And this is one of the things that Apple Music kind of zeroed in on very quickly, that I like that voice, and it's constantly like, hey, have you heard this artist that has that kind of a voice? And the brilliant thing about AViVA is, oh my goodness, while she has that kind of Bishop Briggsy kind of voice, because I think of the music that I'm listening to now, Bishop Briggs and LP are kind of the two of my favorites in that style of singing. And if you haven't heard the LP or Bishop Briggs' last album, go check it out. You have to. They're so good, and I wish I was doing podcasts. I may actually go back and talk about them because they were so amazing. But it's that kind of a dark, sultry yet sinister. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, and I would go through and talk track by track, and I kind of am, because each track shows something new. So right now she has out 5. I'm going to say she because they highlight her on the cover of most of the singles. And I don't know. I'm just going to do that. I have decided. I may be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But that's what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so each song is a little bit different and has a different kind of way of looking at things and seeing things, and talks about different things from Hush to Burn to Drown to Girls. GRRRLS. Girls. Or as we used to say back in the day, girls. But I don't think she means it that way. I think she means it more like girls. And if you know the multiple pronunciations, if you're fluent in gay, then you know the difference there. And crystallize. Oh, so each... Drown is kind of how I've been feeling lately, where Burn is kind of where I want to get to. I know that may sound weird, but let's actually start at the beginning. Let's start with Crystallize. See, Crystallize is the track that makes me think the most about old school goth music and what it would sound like now. And I say that because I'm going to be referencing a lot of old gothic bands, and if you're not familiar with them, definitely go check them out. But it, first of all, sounds kind of like a lost track from Curly's first album, which is getting harder and harder and harder to find. It sounds like a song that would naturally appear somewhere between Creationist and Creepshow on that album. And that's a very good thing. But there are parts of the song that remind me of old Jatane Jamon. Can't talk today. Jatane Damone. And there are parts of the track that remind me so much of Tina Root's masterful singing with Switchblade Symphony. This track, which from my hearing is a song about the overly controlling gaze, and for me it makes me feel a lot about like it's a song about social media. Don't know if that's what she or they meant by it, but that all-seeing eye that looks at everything that you do and judges you all the time. Yeah, that sounds a bit like the Twitter to me, but I may be wrong about that. Musically, this song shifts several times through several different styles of what I would call kind of pop versions of classical goth sounds. And so if you are a fan of Switchblade Symphony or Emily Autumn or classic Curly, it's weird to say because she hasn't been around that long and her new music's really good too, but she's changed her sound a lot over the years. But it's kind of back reminiscent of those styles, and seeing that synthesized into something new and fresh really excites me, and it woke me up. Which is something to say since it was the last of her tracks that I listened to, because I listened to her music in reverse chronological order, because it actually recommended to me her newest track, and we'll get to that in a minute. But definitely, Crystallize is a track to check out. Now, Girls. Girls is an amazing song. It reminds me of kind of the tongue-in-cheek Antichrist Superstar thing, but with a much more girly pop sound over it than what you would ever get from Marilyn Manson. You know, wonderful lines like, you know, I never sing along, la 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 la, which just, I never sing along, and then it kind of invites you to sing along. And that kind of tongue-in-cheekness in there, that love and hate with pop culture that I think we all feel from time to time. The song is fun, it's witty, it's danceable. It's one of those tracks that just fills you with kind of a malevolent glee, if you know what I'm talking about, that makes you just kind of go, yeah, to hell with it. Yeah, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to conform to all this. And as somebody who's always been a fan of that kind of punk attitude in music, which is again why I kind of rail against them calling themselves emo or her calling herself emo, because I almost feel that emo is very conformist. But again, that's from the outside looking in. If you want a counter argument to that and you are a Beats and Apple Music subscriber, Princess Nokia did an entire episode on emo, which kind of opened and broadened my ideas of what it was. But in there she talks about both emo and goth simultaneously because she was into both simultaneously, and I think she kind of mixes that all together, and I feel like that's what's going on here too. This is a wonderfully witty, charming, danceable, just groovy song that's dark and sinister and everything that you want, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what we want in a band? Dark, sinister, happy, giggly, danceable, all in one? I know that's something that I want. Then we come to Drown. Drown is so the emotional state that I have been in for the last couple of years. And as long as we have the current president, I'm probably going to be there. Yeah. And even longer if the current nominee gets on the Supreme Court. But I don't want to get into politics, because I think you know where I'm at on that. Yeah. Hashtag don't take my rights. Hashtag don't take anybody's rights. Hashtag, are people still saying hashtag? Probably not. I just aged myself, didn't I? Yeah. Anywho, Drown is one of those songs about the oppressive nature of life and the world and kind of that angry defiance in the middle of it. And that's a phrase you're going to hear me use a lot when I talk about AViVA, is that angry defiance that makes you stand up and say, hell no, I'm not taking this. You're not going to do this to me. And we need more of that today, especially today. Burn is one of those tracks that really speaks to everything that I'm talking about when discussing AViVA. The lyrics to the song, which I would say kind of oscillate back and forth between being about a breakup with somebody and just the way the world treats you. Oh, I love this song. So I'm going to read to you a dramatic reading of the bridge and the chorus, and you'll get an idea of why I love them so much. Love them, or whichever it is, so much. I will not apologize. I will not walk away. I will not compromise. You'll find I'm here to stay. 'Cause I'm a fighter, a tiger. See me walk through the fire. Try to chain me up, but I'll burst through. I'll defy it. Set me on fire. Watch them conspire. I will defy it. I'll set them on fire. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the kind of song that we need. That's the kind of song that I need. I know, because I have all of these little gremlins in my head that tell me that this is terrible and that is terrible and I'm terrible and everything's terrible. And then you have the world creeping in and joining in with the gremlins saying, yeah, you're terrible. That's terrible. Everything's terrible. Terrible, bad, terrible. Just burn, burn, burn. And, oh, I love this idea of, okay, you can try to set me on fire, but I'm going to burst out. I'm going to break through. I will defy you. I will stand up. I will break through. And you know what? All the fire you throw at me will only burn you. And I like that. That's a lot better than sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words can hurt a lot, but you know what? They just show what kind of a person you really are. Hateful, angry, vengeful people. They're warped. They're twisted inside. People that feel that they have to tear other people down so they can feel better. They're not worth your time. They're not worth your energy. They're not worth you even thinking about. And songs like this help you remember that. They help me remember that because it's something that I have a hard time with. Because, you know, the gremlins in my head sometimes sing in chorus to the demons outside. You know the kind of people I'm talking about. Yeah. Beautiful song. Defiant song. Song that just, makes me feel all warm and tingly inside. Now, Hush was the first song that I ever heard by AViVA. And now, I'm not going to talk about authorial intent here because, to be quite honest, what they meant by this song and what I heard in this song, honestly, meaning is derived by the hearer, by the reader, by the listener. And so I got two different things from this song. And it's why I immediately jumped back into AViVA's back catalog and listened to everything that I could find from them. And that includes going to their YouTube channel. And oh my goodness, they've got a mashup there. Oh, so good, so good. Just go check them out. Definitely go check them out. But I'm actually going to go through all of the words to the song because you've kind of heard about how I see the world and how the world is, you know, for someone like me. So, hush now, darling, don't say a word. Demons calling, they'll eat your soul. I'm not sorry for what will come, what you don't know. So, when I heard this, I thought about several things. One was, and I've talked about this before, but being abused by a teacher when I was in school, and the things that they did to me and my body that were not consensual because I was too young to understand what they were doing. And it was things that they should not have done. But it also makes me think about the little demons that surround us and the little gremlins inside of our own heads that tell us to just be quiet. Just do what we say. Just obey. Obey and everything will be all right. Because I'm the one that really has power over you. Don't you understand that? I'm the one that really has power. You're not. And that's a lie. Continuing with the lyrics. Hold your breath, dim the lights. I won't say you're safe this time. Here and now, you're mine tonight. Again, remembering some of the dark times, remembering a boyfriend holding me down with a knife to my throat, telling me to call them God. Yeah. Remembering being held at gunpoint at one point of my life. Remembering nights in a bathtub with a razor blade. Yeah. These are dark thoughts. These are dark times. And these are all the things that the song makes me think about, but in a good way. Because I'm not that person anymore. I'm not going to just sit quiet and let you do whatever it is you want to do to me. I am not going to do that. That's not who I am anymore. That's not who I'm going to let you make me be. Hush, hush. Keep your pretty mouth shut. Hush, hush. Lose your inhibitions. I'll let you in on my dark side. Show you what hell really feels like. I'll keep a secret if you hush, hush. And all the demons, from the people that do bad things to us to the little gremlins inside of our heads, always say this thing. Like, don't tell anybody that you're suffering. Don't tell anybody that you're dysphoric. Don't tell anybody that I'm abusing you, because they won't listen. They just give in. Just give in. But we shouldn't give in. And the next part of the song, this dichotomy between her almost angelic la 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 la's and these demonics no one has to know, really show that fight, that inner struggle that happens when anything like that happens to us. Hush now, darling, I won't let go. Just keep moving, moving through the smoke. Hold me closer. We step across. Now you know. Hold your breath, dim the lights. I won't say you're safe this time. Here and now, you're mine tonight. Hush, hush, keep your pretty mouth shut. And it goes back into the chorus. Yeah. Yeah. I think we've all been there. And it's been different for us. We've all lost ourselves to some moment. We've all been dominated and controlled by some moment. And this is why someone like me who embraces anarchism, and I mean real anarchism, not like I'm going to go crazy just for the sake of going crazy, but like philosophically, look for systems of control. We look for hierarchical systems that try to hold people down, and realize that if they cannot justify their existence, then they have no right to exist. When I think about the boyfriends that I had in my life that tried to control and dominate me, when I think about how I let society control and dominate me. I was thinking the other night about my first girlfriend, and yes, I had a couple of those, and they were terrible and they were tragic. And I remember the night that we broke up, and I remember how devastated I was, and I remember talking to my mother about this many years later. She was like, but you were so upset when you broke up with that person. And I couldn't explain it to her. It wasn't that, oh, I loved her with all my heart and she broke my heart. It was, but now, who's going to keep me covered? Who's going to help keep me in the closet? Who's going to be my beard now? Because honestly, we were quote unquote dating, But we spent most of our time, and now I'm going to age myself here, sitting in her room talking about New Kids on the Block and which one we liked. I mean, she knew. She knew more than I did. And I mean, I knew, but I didn't know what I was and who I was then. But those systems of control held me down. I mean, I didn't tell anyone for decades what happened to me at that Baptist school that I went to when I was a child. Because I was ashamed, because the system told me not to talk. I didn't tell people about any of the dark feelings that I had inside, because the system said, you put on a happy face. If you don't have anything nice to say, it's best not to say anything at all. And so since I didn't have anything nice to say, I just didn't talk. That's kind of why the podcast went away, because I didn't have anything nice to say. There was nothing but darkness in my head, and I wasn't enjoying a lot of the content that was coming out, and most of the rumors were just lies. And so I didn't have anything to say, and I didn't have anything nice to say, so I didn't say anything at all. And so I let this podcast die. I stopped blogging. I stopped doing everything. I stopped going out and talking to people because I didn't have anything nice to say, because they would always open with the same line, how are you doing today? Well, I can't tell you because I don't have anything nice to say. And I know the look that you're going to get on your face when I tell you how I'm actually doing, and I don't feel like lying. So I'm just not going to talk to you. And so I stopped going out, and I stopped talking to people, and I stopped everything. And that's what I hear in this song. That system. That whether it's depression or abuse, or just culture saying that you're less than for some reason, there's always something telling you to hush. And that is one of the reasons why I love AViVA, because of the defiance there to talk. And yes, I probably should have put a trigger warning at the beginning of this, but I didn't know what I was going to say, and I didn't want to... censor myself. I didn't want to hush. And as I said those things, I thought about whether or not I should say them, but I'm here. And that's the point. Yes, I've been through some dark things in my life, whether or not certain people in my life believe that they happened or not, because they weren't around when they happened, so they have no way of knowing whether or not they happened. You can make it through. And it's all about defiance. It's not about strength. See, people tell you to be strong. Don't be strong. Be defiant as hell. And that's what you should get from your music. That's what you should get from your culture. That's what you should get deep down inside. When someone, something, or whatever tries to control you, you should be defiant. You should speak out. You should not let anyone or anything control you. And I mean that for everything. Your depression, your dysphoria, drug abuse, abusive people, cultures that try to hold you down, societies that try to trap you. Whatever it is, be defiant, stand up, be yourself, fight for you. Because if you don't fight for you, who will? And that's what we need to learn in this world more than anything, is to value ourselves. And when we learn to value ourselves, we see the value in others who have been treated likewise, and then we form community. And in forming community, we become stronger. We become a force to be reckoned with. We become a wave that cannot be defeated. And that's how music teaches us to be ourselves. Because it's the small things. It's from listening to Straight Out of Oz by Todrick Hall and letting that become something that brings you together with people that give you strength. It's about the nights that you spend out talking about David Bowie and Prince and all of the other artists that mean so much to you, that forge those connections. Because those songs say things that sometimes you can't say, because you don't have the words, but they do. And they may not even have the words, they may just have the sound. But you can communicate with them You can connect to people through them. And that's what gives us strength. And I'm so happy to add AViVA to that list of artists that make me feel strong, that make me feel defiant, that make me feel like no matter what demons in my life or gremlins in my head come after me, I can stand up and I can win. So, thank you, AViVA. And thank you all for listening. I hope you liked this. I hope it wasn't too rambly. I'm trying some new things and I'm hoping that you like them. If so, please leave a comment. You can hit me up on social media. Head over to projectshadow.com. You can find links to everything that we do. And like I said at the beginning of the show, if you can afford to help out, because I really would like to make this much more of a full-time gig for me, if you could hit one of those donate buttons at the bottom, that would be so wonderful. If not, I understand. I completely understand. I've got writing to do. I have stories to tell. And I can't wait to get back to it. So thank you all for your patience. Thank you all for caring. And remember, as always, have the fun. See you next time. Bye.